So from now, you should be thinking critically. Otherwise, you cannot learn any business management subject, right? If you do not follow this pattern, it will be very difficult for you guys to understand any business management lesson. Is this clear? Okay, so how many hallmarks are there? There are 8, right? Starting from purposeful, rigor, testability, replicability, generalizability, objectivity, and precision and confidence. How many there are? 7 or 8? 7. So one is missing. That is parsimony, right? So I will explain it later on that what does parsimony mean. Okay, the most important thing is when we learn something for decision making purpose, that has to be purposeful, that has to have a definite purpose, right? Because we human, we have a very limited resources. This is for sure. We have limited resources, we have limited time, we have limited finances. So we cannot discuss anything that doesn't have a definite purpose. Is this clear? So the first thing is, whenever we should speak or whenever we should study or whenever we should have to make any decision about, that has to have a very definite purpose, right? Now let me share you the thing. I mean, why we are learning this lecture? Because it will enhance your analytical skill. Now, analytical skill in that, how do you analyze something? If you do not follow these hallmarks, it will be very difficult for you to analyze any procedure, any study. Second, it will improve your decision making. I mean, if you do not consider these hallmarks of scientific investigation, you cannot improve your decision making. Now, can I ask you one thing? We human, what we continuously do every time, we all human. Change? Sorry? Eating? No, we are not eating right now. Mistakes? No, sometimes we do not do mistakes, but still breathing. Okay, that is fine. I mean, I'm asking about something which is related to your cognitive abilities. Breathing is something which is, heart beating, breathing, that is not under our control, but something which is under our control, but we are continuously doing it. Thinking. Yes, absolutely right. What is your good name?
Marlon. You are asking me Marlon. Marlon.
Marlon.
Yeah.
Marlon.
Norway.
Yeah, Marlon, you are absolutely right that we are thinking. So can I rephrase it? Thinking means that we are continuously making some decisions. Am I right or wrong? And let me tell you one thing, please don't mind my words. If you are in toilet, still you are thinking something. Am I right or wrong? So that is why, Google organization, they have placed whiteboard in their toilets and have put some mark over there. Why do they do that, sir? Why Google have placed whiteboard in their toilet, washroom, in the offices with whiteboard markers? Can I ask you why? Is there any reason? Google. Because they assume that when you are in your toilet, you are relaxing. And when you relax, you think innovatively. And when there is some idea pops up in your mind, just take marker and draw it. Right? So from now, we have to learn something which is very important. Decision making, and always think on paper. Always think on paper. Now, from now, you have to make it practice. Whatever you have to think, whatever decision you have to make, just think it on paper, not in your mind. Because when we think in our mind, make some decision in our mind, it is not clear. But when we write on a paper, it comes out to be black and white. So everything will be crystal clear. It will help us in making some decisions. Am I right? Right. So these hallmarks of scientific investigation, when we go through it, it will help us in improving our decision making. So this is very important because the successful people, they are good decision maker. And the unsuccessful people, they are not a good decision maker. This is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. The only difference is the decision making. So the successful people, they are vigilant. They are making the right decision by considering the right information. And unsuccessful people, they are making wrong decision by considering wrong information. Is this clear? So what I've told you, just have a look here again. The successful people, they always think like this. You might have noticed, they always talk on a purposeful topic, right? If there is a definite purpose, they will speak with you. But if there is not a definite purpose, they will say still with you because they don't want to waste their time. Is this clear? So there is a concept in psychology, law of attraction. So you guys might have read this law of attraction in physics. In physics, we say that every mass they attract each other. But in psychology, the law of attraction says law of attraction says that people with similar interests, they attract each other. Right? If you have Mr. A, who is successful, who is a leader, and here is Mr. B. And if you want to get attracted by Mr. A, you need to have a similar thinking pattern which Mr. A has. If your mindset doesn't match each other, he will never attract. Now, if you want to be successful, you need to be attracted by the successful people. Right? Like if you are here in hierarchy, right? Now we are right now here. That is a thing. And we want to be there. So the only way to get there is to get attracted by the successful people. And it will only happen when you start thinking like them. Right? So the first step, they always talk about a purposeful topic. If there is not a purposeful topic, they will never talk. They will never waste their time. So we have limited resources. What kind of resources we have? Money, skill, but the most important resource is time. Right? So if you have a limited time, just speak for a purposeful topic. Second point is rigor. Now, what rigor is? I just explain a little bit, then I'll go into detail afterwards. Now, rigor means whenever you have a purposeful topic, just pay attention, man. When you have a purposeful topic, you need to do research rigorously. Now, what rigor means? Rigor means to test something from different aspects, from multiple aspects. To test something from multiple aspects. Now, I can ask you a question. Just have a look at me. Let's suppose there is a person who is having heart problem, right? And he visits the doctor. Now, what doctor will do? He diagnoses. How does he diagnose?
Using the machines, ECG.
Brother Marlon, you are very interesting by the way. You're very intelligent. Now, when you visit a doctor,
Actually, don't ask, right? Actually, sir, no, because I have the similar experience.
okay, perfect. So when you visit to a doctor, right, and your breathing is not even. So what he will do, he will check your pulse first. Right? Absolutely right. So first he will check your pulse, then he will put his stethoscope and he notices your heart rhythm, love. Further, he will check your BP. Then he will put you on ECG machine. Then even he can ask you for stress test. He cannot even go for echocardiography. Now, my question is, why is doing multiple tests, brother? Why the doctor is doing multiple testing? Why? I mean, just noticing the pulse rate can tell everything, but why he is going through multiple testing?
Because they may range variously in
Yeah, because the results may get varied. So in order to control the variance, you should perform multiple testing. So after doing multiple testing, he will be very confident and he say, brother, you are absolutely fine. You just have a panic attack. Am I right? So the first thing is you always think for a purposeful thing. And the second thing is you should perform a rigorous testing. Without rigorous testing, you should not come up with any decision. If you come up with a decision without thinking rigorously, it will not be a scientific decision. You will miscommunicate something. You will take wrong decisions. The third thing is testability. Now, this is very important. Testability means whatever information you present as an accountant or as a speaker, please remember my words. Whatever you say as a speaker or whatever you present as an accountant, that information should be testable. Testable means that other can also test it. Other can also verify it. If you are giving an information and other cannot verify it, it means you are talking purposelessly. Am I right or wrong? Now, have you ever noticed when we buy a medicine, there is a prescription in that leaf, right? Prescription leaf. So you might have noticed that the chemical formula, structure formula, everything is written on that. Why pharmacists write those formulas on the prescription leaf, brother? Why pharmacists, doctors, they write chemical formula and structural formula on the medicine? Why do they write it? Sir,
I think they use potency for to help the user. The user have the wherewithal to consume it.
they write the formula, you are absolutely right. They write the formula so that you can get it verified from another source. You know, sometimes you go for pharmacy and you ask for a medicine, and they say we do not have that particular medicine, but we have another medicine with the same formula. They say like this, right? So what does it mean? It means the company will be different, but the formula is the same. So whatever medicine they are producing, they are also mentioning their formula so that you can get it verified from other sources. Right? So as an accountant or as a speaker, whenever you have to present information in front of the audience, make sure that whatever you say should be testable. It should be based on universal truth. Is this clear? Right. So, you know, in accounting, there's a concept of auditing. Do you know this? Audit. What auditors do? Auditors verify every information that is presented in the financial statement. So now you as an accountant, let's suppose you present an information. An auditor can verify it. It means whatever you present is testable. Right? Next thing is replicable. Replicable means whatever you say, whatever you speak about, whatever you present any information, other can also replicate it. Other can also apply it on their personalities. So you should come up with a model that can be replicable. Other can also apply on their personalities. Generalizability. This is one of my favorite values. Generalizability means always present information in such a way that it should address everybody. Generalized. Present your information in such a way that everybody can easily understand. Do not create things so much complex that people will be confused. The concept of generalizability is clear or not? Okay, I can ask you a question. You guys might have noticed that during that COVID-19, right? The scientists who produced vaccines before getting those vaccines sold in the market, they tested on people. First, they tested on monkeys, then maybe mice, and then they asked some volunteer people. So people presented themselves voluntarily for the testing purpose, and they tested it widely. So once they got the confidence that we can apply on the general people, then they started selling them in the market. So until unless you cannot create anything for the public, you should not present that information. So always present an information that should be benefiting general public. Next point is objectivity. Now, objectivity means what? Objectivity means sometimes whenever we speak, whenever we present any information, it has got two types of characteristics. One is called objectivity, and another one is called subjectivity, right? What is the difference between objectivity and subjectivity? Do you have any idea, please? What is the difference between subjectivity and objectivity? Subjectivity means when you share your own opinion, your own likeness, dislikeness. This is called subjectivity, right? Now, if you ask someone, what is your subjective opinion? It means you are asking about his own way of thinking, his own philosophy. This is called subjectivity. But objectivity means which is definite there. Right? If I ask you, 1 plus 1 is equal to what? What would be the answer? 2. This is objective. You cannot put your own opinion in it. This is called objective. Now you do not have the margin to say anything, to contribute your own psychology, your own philosophy. But when I say you, how do you think about this universe? Then you can say, this universe is like my heart. It always keeps on beating. Whatever you want to say, you just can say. So, when we are in business management, we should always believe in objectivity, not in subjectivity. If you are an accountant, and there are many principles for accounting, you have to follow it as it is. You cannot contribute your own philosophy that I think like this. No. It does not matter how do you think. What matters is what generally people. Right or wrong? Okay, the next thing is precision and confidence. This is one of my favorite, by the way. But before going into the detail, is there any confusion? Everything's very clear to you? So the first thing is purposefulness. Second thing is rigor. Number 3, testability, replicability, generalizability. Okay, I promise one thing. When you start thinking like this, when you start speaking like this, whenever you say, you always say purposefully. Whatever you say that is based on rigorous finding, whatever you present is testable. What model you share is replicable. What information you share is generalizable. Whatever principle you believe has got objective in nature, believe me, you will become scientifically correct. You will become a good decision maker. You will start attracting successful people in the world. And imagine someone who always speaks without any purpose. Imagine someone who always share an information that doesn't base on rigorous testing. Imagine someone who share an information that is never testable. No one can verify it. Okay, so have you ever seen those people who do the black magic? If someone says, there are 2 jinn in this room, who can verify this information? Can anyone verify? Now imagine someone comes and you say, I can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 jinns are there. If someone claim like this, should we believe in that claim? Who can verify, sir? Can anybody verify? Is there any instrument? But if you go to doctor and doctor says your blood pressure is high, you can say, how can you tell me that my blood pressure is? Say, brother, don't worry. Here is the instrument. You can check by yourself. Put your blood pressure machine here. You can notice your own blood pressure. Nothing, I mean, supernaturally I'm doing. Am I right or wrong? So imagine someone who is talking something which is not applied to generalizable people. And imagine someone who always shares his own opinion, his own emotions. He never accept the principles or the objective information. Okay, second task is precision and confidence. This is one of my favorites. Precision and confidence. Okay, we are human. Am I right or not? Brother Marno, we are human. And always remember, we are human, we have limitations. We have limited resources. So we do not have the margin to mistake, whether it is intentionally or unintentionally. We do not have the margin to waste our time. Now, my question is, if somebody says, let's suppose Mr. A, he says that give me 1 billion real and I want to study the mood of elephants. Can you offer him 1 billion real? Yes, brother, take this money and study the moods of the elephants. Can you offer him? Sir, why? Because there is no objective. This is purposeless. I mean, why you are investing 1 billion real to study the moods of the elephant? We have nothing to do with the elephants. Am I right or no? So if you have to invest some money, a huge money, it should follow a very definite purpose. Yes, you can say that people, they are struggling with COVID and I want to invent a vaccine, so I need 1 billion real. Yes, this is understandable. Okay, now the thing is, okay, my question is, when you go to a doctor, Brother Manu, very interesting example. Let's suppose there are two doctors, Dr. A and Dr. B, right? And here's Mr. X, he's struggling with blood pressure. So he visits Dr. A, and Dr. A says, brother, listen, how many fingers in your hand? He says 5. He says, okay, remember 5 things. The first thing, take medicine on time. Number 2, walk 30 minutes daily. Number 3, never get unusual, undesirable stress. Number 4, never have rich cholesterol foods. And number last, follow a regular routine. Is this clear? So how many things are? 5. He says, if you remember these 5 things, you will have a normal blood pressure. Okay. Now he visits to Dr. B. Now Dr. B says, brother, I have 5,000 things to share with you. If you follow these 5,000 things, your blood pressure will be normal. Now my question is, which one doctor is precise and confident, A or B? Which doctor is giving you the right information, A or B? Why? He's giving you 5,000 instructions to control the blood pressure. I think he is more reliable. Brother, you want to say something? He's giving you 5,000 instructions to control your blood pressure, but still you are saying that Dr. A is good because he's only.
You can remember.
You can never remember these 5,000 things. So always be precise and confident. No, he's giving you 5 instructions which are very precise, and he is very confident that if you follow these 5 instructions, your blood pressure will be low. Maybe he's right, maybe 5,000 things, it will also lower down blood pressure. But this is not precise. This is a huge list to follow. Am I right or no? Right? Okay. Now the first thing we will do, study. It will help you enhance your analytical skill. It will improve your decision making. It will increase your problem solving abilities. Believe me. Let me tell you one thing. We are human, right? Okay. We cannot do something immediately or spontaneously. Further, I'll share you this slide, no problem. I'll share you the WhatsApp, everything. Increase problem solving abilities. Okay, let me tell you one. If you do not walk regularly, or you have not been walking since for 2 years, and now you immediately start walking, what would happen?
Easy.
You get tired immediately, right? And your leg will start feeling pain. Okay. So imagine a person who is walking on a daily basis regularly. How many of you walk regularly for 30 minutes or 1 hour? No one? Okay, let me tell you. If you walk 1 hour regularly, if you walk 1 hour regularly over the years, now let me tell you, if you are sitting, right, your legs will ask you, let's start walking. Your legs will demand. Am I right or wrong? If you do not walk, your leg will feel. Now you're not walking, and now your legs are feeling pain. Because we are used to that. Right? So imagine